Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. The Blackhawk County Board of Supervisors, March 27, 2018. Roll call, please.
Phelan,
Here.
Little,
Here.
Bagsman,
Here.
Schwartz,
Here.
White.
Would you please join us in a moment of silence? Okay, would you join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, moving on to agenda received as proposed or amended.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or discussion on the agenda? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2, public comments. Anybody has anything to say to the board? It's not on the agenda. State your name and address, please.
Morning, Tom. Worked Tom years ago in John Deere. Darrell Dixon, LaPorte City, Iowa.
Okay.
Blackhawk County needs to reprimand problem on rural roads, including Clover Road that was retaliation. Last Friday afternoon before Saturday's snowstorm, side shoulder of Clover Road was dug deeper again and piled in a windrow on the opposite side, waiting to be spread over road. Since we first complained when that new operator took over, probably 10 years ago, after rain or thaw, road past our home turns to a layer of mud. Process has destroyed the gravel roads that now look like rainbows. Dirt cut off shoulder gets washed into ditch. Where ditch is full, edge of road now becomes a ditch. Side of road have no support for rural traffic when they meet, like school bus and heavy trucks go in both directions. Past rains have cut gully inside piled dirt. Happened twice down just north of us on Cobra and Rhinebeck Road. And now the road's real narrow because he just went in and rounded it out more. And if you look at that road, when you get down to the Tama Road, a lot of that dirt there come in from soil erosion. So, you know, that's not all the fact of cutting the road off. But there, a backhoe ought to be used, not a maintainer. It costs millions of dollars to replace the shoulders in Blackhawk County. You've totally destroyed our roads. Go all over, county roads all over the United States, you won't find them graded like a rainbow. The other thing, Tom, you want me to address this or let Jackie read it?
The what?
Well, can I go on, or I saw you had one agenda, you want Jackie to do the other one?
Just a couple minutes more. She's
Oh, no.
welcome to talk to.
No, I talked about two things, you want Jackie to do the other one?
That's fine.
Okay, Cedar Valley Nature Trail detour on Canfield and Brandon Road is premeditated murder waiting to happen. Needed to get government grants to replace the bridge. Post-only section closed. Remove detour signs before children and visitors get killed. And if you look in Waterloo Courier, yesterday, a year ago, so it would have been the 26th of March 17, they talked, the county officials have all approved that detour. It ought to be taken off there. That's sad, sad thing. That Canfield Road got dips in it all the way. It's got all the heavy traffic. We go to church at Jubilee, so we go to church with all them people all around there. We drive on the Brandon Road. But it's real dangerous. I want to thank all you people for serving the county and everything you've done for it. And a good example of that would be Engineer Nichols, some of her neat projects. So,
Okay, then. Well, thank you very much. And hopefully, Kathy, you and Ryan will work with them. I know Ryan called him back, I believe, yesterday,
called who?
or tried to.
Thank you.
It's really sad, them roads are junk. It's really sad. Thank you. Thank you, Tom.
You bet. Is there anybody else like to address the board at this time? Okay, moving on to claims and payments. Susan.
Yes, we will have an additional check that we will need to issue this week for the closing on the flood buyout property, but we do not have the exact amount of that. And per Pete's advice, and Dave Mason, who is handling that closing. We would like to approve that check at a not to exceed, and I'm just going to add about $100 to the amount that was estimated. And Pete recommended that we do 2 resolutions. So the regular county expenditures for this week total $128,020.73, 128,020.73.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call, Mr. Veeder.
Leyland,
Yes.
Magsman,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Little,
Yes. And then you want another resolution to approve the...
Right. So the amount not to exceed $75,111.66, 75111.66 for the flood buyout closing.
So moved.
Second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Magsman,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little,
Yes. And moving on to item B.
Country View's expenditures this week total $50,765.62, 50765.62.
Motion to approve?
Second. Any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Magsman,
Yes.
Little,
Yes. Okay. Moving item 4 on the agenda is to receive project updates from department heads or elected officials. Morning, Kathy.
Good morning.
Good morning, Board. Kathy Nicholas, County Engineer. Just a brief update on the road conditions. The paved roads are in good condition. The gravel roads south of Highway 20, those are in fair condition. North of Highway 20, a lot of them are in poor condition. There was quite a bit more snow in the northern part of the county. The past few days, there has been quite a bit of blowing of those gravel roads. It's been hard to maintain the one lane width that we have managed to get cleared. It's very difficult to scrape the snow completely off the road without plowing all of the rock into the ditch. So we're keeping several inches of snow on the road. That is, of course, starting to melt and get mushy. So those roads are very sloppy right now, and we're doing our best to keep the rock on the road. We are back to our normal working hours, so the guys will be coming in about 2:30 this afternoon in the motor graders. Just to speak on Mr. Dixon's comments, I have talked with him several times over the past few years. I did talk to him last week. I will be going out tomorrow with our maintenance superintendent. We'll look at his road in particular, and I can respond back to him again, and I'll keep you informed as well. Can I answer any other questions?
At least you gave your report after he left,
Yes. Thank you.
especially the part where the roads were in good condition.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, then, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, moving on to item 5, minutes approved for the 20th of March, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We do have a hearing today. It'll be the bid opening for the proposed sheriff office parking lot project. We'll get to that shortly. Item 7 is consent agenda. This will be made with a simple resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Leyland,
Yes.
Magsman,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Little,
Yes. Okay, moving on to item 8, reports, updates. Ben Delegardelle doing business as Irvin Services, Washburn Sanitary Sewer. Morning.
Good morning. We'll update you for operations in January and February today. Both months we monitored the water flow rate and the cell levels. Both months we submitted the monthly operating report for December and January respectively. January had 0 utility locates and 5 service calls. February had 0 utility locates and 5 service calls. Current pump inventory, we have 4 rebuilt 2000 series, which is the original older series, and we have 1 brand new Extreme series pump. We have on the agenda to approve 5 new pumps, or they're the refurbished pumps using the old non-wear parts from the pumps that have been taken out of service and the new motor housings for somewhere around $7,998.
They're interchangeable then, those two?
Yep. Basically, all the parts from the ones we've taken out of service, either for bad motors, or they're too expensive to fix, we have to place every part on them. We've removed them from service and bought brand new pumps in the past, but we refurbished those with a new motor housing, new electronics on top, all the wear parts, the rope, the electrical cord, everything that's reusable that doesn't wear out basically gets reused on these pumps, and they're somewhere a little north of 50% of the cost of a brand new pump. So that my suggestion is to keep going that route. We had a good experience with 5 we just replaced, or we just purchased, I think, October last year, November. Not sure when that was done, but we've had a good experience with those so far. My suggestion is to keep going that direction. Any questions about that?
What's that give you for inventory?
That will take us up to 10. And another comment I'd make about that is that going into spring, I do monthly checks or the biannual checks during March, April time. So usually there's 3 or 4 to change in that time. So it's going to take us back down to around 7 or 8, hopefully, depending on whether those are rebuildable. We have seen a little bit of a drop in our capability of rebuilding the pumps. So they seem to be, we had 2 that had corrosion around the motor housing where they just set in septic water so long, I think it's somewhere around 18, 19 years now, whether they were rebuilt and put back in, that they're getting a hole into the motor cavity and completely not usable. So we may start to consume a little bit quicker than we used to. Rather than the 10 a year, we may have 12 or 14. But we do everything we can to save the pumps that we can with, the checking of the pumps and replacement of parts that we can do on the rebuilds. So any other questions about that process? Or
Susan, is the count all right then?
Yes, and we have about $145,000 in the fund balance right now.
Anything else?
I would just say that maybe a month or 2 down the road, we may need to buy 5 more if you guys want to stay in the 8 to 12 pump range. So keep that in mind as
We
well.
probably asked you this before, but how many of the original pumps are still in service?
I would say 15 to 20% of the original pumps have not been changed, pulled, or anything
Okay.
yet. We still run into some of them, but not very frequently.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item 9, this is a resolution of the agreement between Blackhawk County and First Judicial District Court Correction Services agreeing to provide supervision. The amount is $260,000. This is a yearly contract.
Motion to approve.
Second. Ross, do you want to give us an overview of this?
The email that you sent in the breakdown was very helpful because I had some questions on it.
Okay, thank you. And I would just say on behalf of the department that we're very happy to continue this contract and continue to provide the service. And if there's
This
any
is
other questions, I can try
Not
and
to
answer those.
exceed, and I don't believe we've exceeded this amount the last few years.
No, we have not, no.
No, thank you for it. It's quite a savings to the county, actually, by having the service available and not having people housed in jail, so.
Yep, and good for the county, good for the offenders, good for everybody, I think. So,
Okay,
Thank you.
anybody else?
Thanks, Ross.
thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion on this one?
Yes.
Okay, roll call, please.
Magsman,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Moving on to item B. This is a resolution cooperative agreement between Blackhawk County and the City of Waterloo for improvements on B43, which is Elk Run Road. The estimated cost is going to be $11,355. Kathy?
Yes, I believe I've told you that we will be resurfacing Elk Run Road this coming summer construction season from Donald Street to Dunkerton Road. We are also planning to resurface that intersection at Elk Run Road and Donald Street. Over the years, there's been quite a bit of rutting. It's a very heavily trafficked intersection. The city of Waterloo does have jurisdiction of 1/4 of that intersection. We are treating this intersection a little bit separate from the rest of the project by the fact that we're placing a more stout asphalt mix in this intersection. So we've broken out those items. We are able to give the city of Waterloo an estimate for their quarter portion of this work. So this agreement is their promise to repay the $11,000. That's our estimate for this work. I'd ask you to approve it.
So moved.
Second. Any other questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Magsman,
Yes.
Little,
Yes. Okay, moving on to item C, it's the resolution lowest bid, reasonable bid received from Kelly Demolition, Mount Vernon, Iowa. This is for the flood buyout property, and the dollar amount is $14,512. Be approved. So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments? And we bid this out, right, Susan?
We did. We received 4 bids. This one was the lowest. They met the requirements. Rory checked their references, and it's under the estimated amount that we had.
Okay. Anybody else? Roll call, please.
Magsman,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Leyland.
Yes.
Little,
Yes. Okay, moving on to other business, 10A. This is a request for purchase of capital equipment by Ben Delegardelle. This is for the pumps that he talked about. Be 5 refurbished pumps for $7,998.80.
So moved.
Second. Any comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item B is a motion to request for purchase of capital equipment submitted by Kim Beater, Information Technology Director, be approved. This is for purchase 3 tablets for $1,774.23 and some software for $251.70 to be used by the medical examiner.
So moved.
Second. Susan, any comments? I see we finally got a letter from him.
Right. I did think maybe he was going to be here this morning, but he did send an explanation in an email to the supervisors. And unless Kim has any further
Kim?
comments on it.
So the 3 tablets will allow the investigators to enter the information as they're doing the autopsy. The software, then they can place it a place, either email it or place it on the server where he can get at it, and he'll use that software to update anything he needs to and add his signature. Then he'll be able to email it to the appropriate law enforcement. So it's really a savings for paper and process, be much more efficient.
And he's got county computer and printer right now, medical examiner.
I believe he has a laptop or a computer. I can't remember
Yeah,
now.
I don't know the specifics.
I think we purchased that for him a couple of years
Yeah, we
ago
did.
when he retired, or, yeah. So I believe he does.
Okay. Anybody else? Do we have a motion on this?
yes.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item C is a motion of the personnel rec for equipment operator 1. This is a full-time secondary roads. Be approved.
So moved.
Second. Kathy?
Yeah, this is just a replacement, just due to some backfilling and shuffling that has been going on for several weeks now. It's a permanent budgeted position, so I'd ask for your consideration of this item.
Okay. Anybody else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item D is a resolution, a letter of support for Cedar Trails Partnership to submit a proposal for grant to fund the Cedar Valley Nature Trail Wolf Creek.
So
I
moved.
think Roger White talked about that last week, and we said we'd put it on this week. Second. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Magsman,
Yes.
Little,
Yes. Item E is a resolution opinion article. This is for funding the property tax bill for commercial industrial properties be approved for submission to Waterloo Couriers. So moved. Anybody want to talk about this grant or anybody?
This is in regard to the property taxes that the county and other local jurisdictions have lost because the state decided to reduce the taxable value of commercial and industrial property. And the state said that they would replace those lost taxes, and they have done so the last few years. There's a bill in the legislature now to phase this out, and not only to phase it out permanently, but it begins in fiscal year 19, which means they would be reducing revenues that we've already budgeted for. And so the Iowa State Association of Counties is encouraging counties to contact the local press and put opinion pieces in the newspaper opposing the reduction of the backfill, especially on this schedule. And all of the other elected officials in Blackhawk County have agreed to sign this letter along with the Board of Supervisors.
Okay.
Yes, this was a promise that was made to by the legislature and the governor at that time when this legislation took place. And now they're not living up to their promise. I guess this can be devastating. This, I believe, would cost us about $350,000 in fiscal year 19, and then additional funds in the upcoming years as they break their promise and phase this out.
About $1 million a year, isn't it, Susan?
About $1 million.
For Blackhawk County.
Blackhawk County.
If you look at the politics of the time, it wouldn't have passed if it didn't have this promise in there. And so there are a lot of legislators that voted for this, thinking that we had this guarantee.
Okay, is there anybody else want to comment? Any questions? This is a resolution. Roll call, please.
Pardon me? Oh, I'm sorry. We need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Leyland,
Yes.
Magsman,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Grant.
Moving on to item F. This is a resolution of Blackhawk County collect a total of $1,565.19 from Philip Wendling. This is 27% of the $5,797. This is for Iowa Law Enforcement Academy training.
So moved?
Second.
Any questions on this one? Roll call, please.
Magsman,
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Little.
Yes. Okay, item G, this is a hearing bid opening on the proposed sheriff office parking lot project. The time is 9:24. Item 1 is motion received and place on file proof of publication.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries. Item 2 is a motion to close the hearing after oral and written comments are received. Is there any written comments?
No, sir.
So moved.
Second?
Any comments on that? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Item 3, the bids to be received, open and read. Did they all meet the deadline at 3 p.m.?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Really? No. I don't like that. Only one bid, Rory.
Yes, we received only one bid.
How many did you send out?
We invited several to bid on this project, and it was also placed on our county website.
When was it sent out?
What, 3 weeks? About 3 weeks ago.
That's still pretty early yet, and what's your feeling on it? I mean, we usually like to have more than one bid.
You know, I was taken back by it. I anticipated to receive more bids than that, obviously. Once I open this, hopefully that will shed some light on it. You know, there is a factor of contaminated material with this project that may have played a part in this. Pretty substantial amount of fill that's being removed. I really think that the efforts of the engineering department getting this project out systematically, the timing that we did this was to try to get to the contractors before they set their schedules for the year. So I think we're opportune time there. It's it's a very high profile, I guess I would say. This project has been talked about for some time, so it really shouldn't have come at a surprise. So I really don't have a firm answer for that.
Okay.
Okay, so the one bid we did receive was from Veith Construction Corporation, located in Cedar Falls. And I do have a bid bond from Veith. Total bid amount, $580,542.33. 580,542.33.
It covered everything?
Yes, they included the bid form that we provided, which identifies a description and the quantities.
Okay. Okay, with that, I'll accept the motion, review and place on file. So
And
moved.
your estimate on this project was,
We had a budget amount of $700,000. The engineering's estimate was $620,000.
thank you.
Thank you.
Second?
Okay, is there any other? Chris, I think, made the motion.
Yes.
Okay, is there any other questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 11 is reports or information from the board. Frank?
What?
Paused.
I don't have any reports to give today,
Okay, with that, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
or I guess, I would welcome any other board member to go with me to the Upper Cedar River Conference this afternoon, if you'd like.
Next time.
A motion to adjourn?